The following video is a Dennis the Menace production. Dennis the Menace, this name will never stick. On this episode of Is That Going to Be on the Exam, we look at phishing. Phishing is a sinister form of spam that tricks people into believing they are from credible sources such as banks. The main goal of a phishing email is to get people to give up personal information such as social security numbers or bank accounts and passwords in order for the criminal to then log into their accounts or steal their identity, therefore profiting from other people's accounts or information. Phishing emails generally look very professional. They'll usually have professional font and words, and they might even contain the logo to the company's, like the actual logos of the company. It'll contain links to fake websites that look very similar to the real website, if not identical, and also contain fake phone numbers to the criminals that act as the bank phones. The main way that phishers get your personal information from these phishing emails is they will have a link to their to a person's bank, and it will there will be a short message saying huge security issue, please check this out, and then they'll have the link to the bank. The people will click on it, but it's not a link to the actual banking website. It is a link to an identical site created by the criminals. Once there, the people will put in their information, and to ensure that the user doesn't know that they've been hacked and their information has been stolen, a incorrect password message will show up, and then it will be prompted to send the person to the real banking website, where they'll try and re-put their information in, and since it's correct, it will work that time. So instead of thinking they've been hacked or their identity's been stolen, people think they just had a mistyped keystroke and just accidentally mistyped their password. Although phishing emails are known to look very professional, there are several telltale signs of forgery and that they're not real. The first of which is a lack of a personal greeting. At the beginning of most professional emails from reliable sources, real banks and stuff like that, they'll have a personal greeting for each individual person. So, hello, so-and-so, your certain account, and then it'll give like a number or something, is having security issues, please come in and talk with us to figure this out, and stuff like that, instead of just having generic information or just going straight to the problem. Also, in the to line of an email, it will not have specific names. It will only have to whom it may concern or undisclosed amount of people. So that way, people that shows that people are phishing and spamming by sending out mass messages. So that's another way. And the final way is, in many phishing emails, they have links to web pages that are fake web pages. Although the web address that appears may look the correct, if you scroll over the actual address that is given, it'll show the real IP address that it'll take you to, and that way you can know if it's the real one or not. So that's always important to do, and make sure that everything is correct and what it says it is. Different types of phishing are smishing and vishing. Smishing is phishing for text messages, while vishing is phishing for phone calls. So with smishing, people will get emails from their supposed bank saying, text us your information to make sure everything is correct and everything like that. Well, vishing will have a phone call from an automated number, and it will say, information is hacked, please enter your account information to make sure you're unaffected. So these are very attractive to criminals, alternative attraction to criminals, because they are very inexpensive to do and very easy to do, so they could get a lot of people and not cost a lot of money. And a final type of phishing is Pharming, aka DNS Poisoning, in which criminals illegally access a DNS server and put an IP address to their fake site in place of the real IP address, which can be very dangerous for users. Identity theft is when a criminal steals a person's personal information in order to impersonate them. Once the identity has been stolen, criminals will generally use it to create fake credit cards or log on and use bank account information and just steal people's money and ruin their credit since they will never be paying it off. And it ruins a lot of people's lives. Also, medical identity theft is drastically on the rise in the US, and it can take upwards of 7 months to clear up problems arising from identity theft. So it's very harmful to people and their credit, and it may never be able to be fixed. So it's a very important ethical issue in today's society. There are several ways to ensure that you will never be part of a phishing scam. The first of which is never give personal information slash passwords over the phone or emails. Um, Companies such as banks and everything never need your personal information to access your accounts, so that's always a telltale sign if they're asking for it because they do not need it. Plus, just never send information over phone or email. Always give it in person at your local bank or whatever that you know is real. And also manually look up websites and phone numbers. Even though a phone number may be given, it isn't necessarily true. Just manually go to a phone book and look it up yourself to make sure it's right, or just manually type in a website's URL to make sure you're using the right one. And these are the sources I used to gather information for this PowerPoint. Thank you very much for watching another Dennis the Menace production video. Dennis the Menace Productions. I can't believe that name stuck.